In this tutorial, I'll be showing you the workflow that I used to render the iPhone 6 that I worked on. So to start, I modeled the iPhone in SolidWorks, and because this iPhone is just one solid part, for my buttons and all this holes, all I did was extrude and extrude cut. So it's a solid part. So because I made it as a solid part, I need to add different colors to the different areas that I'm going to be changing the appearance in Visualize. So that way it makes it easy for me to import it into SolidWorks Visualize, because if I just import this part as one solid model, I won't be able to change the appearance. So on the left side, you can see the different colors that I add to the areas that I'm going to be changing the colors in Visualize. So once that's done, we are just going to close this, and in Visualize we're just going to import file, and we're going to select our iPhone and import it. And now under the part grouping, you want to make sure that the appearance is checked. Instead of the automatic, you want to use the appearance, and just click OK. It's going to take a couple of seconds for this to load. Please bear with me. There you go. So now that our part has import, so what I'm going to do is just go into the model, and I'm going to snap to flow, and I'm going to change this to the fast mode, so that way it's easy to work. Yes, it's much faster now. So now that I've snapped it to the floor, and you can see all the different colors that I assigned to it in SolidWorks was import to Visualize. So now I'm going to go to the preview mode and enable floor shadow and reflect, and once that's done, and you can see the different colors now. If I select this color, is assigned to some part in the part. So the next thing I did is I made my appearance for the iPhone, because it takes some time to adjust the appearance and to try to figure out which one what works best. So I made the appearance prior to starting this tutorial, and I just saved it in another folder in my appearance on my file. So now I have this different appearance that I'm just gonna drag and drop to this part. So let's just start with the body. I'm just going to drag and drop that to the body, and the Apple logo is this on the back. I'm just going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to keep, so it's pretty much drag and drop from this point on. The button ring is this part over here, so let me just zoom in. That part over there, and the charger is at the bottom, but because the way I modeled this in SolidWorks, I have to flip it to be able to get to the bottom, but I'll do that later. So I'm just gonna keep working. So now I have my glass. I have two glass. I have the glass on the front, and I have the glass on the back. So what I'm going to do is hide those glass for now, so we can get to the appearance inside. So I'm just gonna hide part, and this glass on the front, I'm just gonna hide that too. Hide part. So that will be the last thing we actually work on. So now I'm just gonna go into my library again. So this is the black face. I'm just gonna drag it to that. This is the, I'm not sure what this is. This is the glass. That's the last thing we're gonna work on. The red color is the color for the lock. So I'm gonna drag it to there, and the ribbon, I'm just going to drag it to the back, this purple one. So as you can see, as I'm dragging it to this color, everything is changing, because I already set everything up in SolidWorks. So that we don't need that for now. The camera color, we need this camera color. We are going to drag it to, let me just zoom. Yes, so this camera color, we are going to drag the black to that, the black to this, and the gray to this. So that's looking pretty good. Then the same thing, we're gonna drag this to there, and everything is looking pretty good now. So the decal color, we don't need that. The screw is at the bottom. The speaker, we're just gonna drag that to this. So now the iPhone is looking pretty good. The color, this, I'm gonna drag this black, also this black to that, to the button, because if you look on the iPhone, the color of the button is almost the same color as the face. So now that we have all those done, let me flip this iPhone so I can go back into my model and rotate in the X direction just to get that button, and I'm just gonna zoom in on it. So I'm gonna go back into my library and I'm gonna drag this to that, and the screw, I'm gonna drag the screw to the yellow part, and this part is always dark because you can't really see anything, so I'm just gonna drag there just to make it look like you can't really see what's on the inside. And there is one more stuff that I need to change on this part. I need to drag this part to there, so it looks like that is actually the where the SIM card is, where it slides out. So everything is looking pretty good for now. Maybe I need to flip my model back. I'll flip it again. Okay, so now I pretty much have everything done. So the next thing we need to do is just start adding our decal. So I found a picture on Google, and it's a picture of this. So what I did is in Photoshop, I just cropped that out. I cropped this out and I cropped that out. And also I found this picture for the camera, so I also cropped this area out. So pretty much when I did that, this is what I got. This little tiny flashlight. See how tiny the speaker is. Say, I'm not a professional at video, at Photoshop. I just know how to do some research to get what I wanted, what I'm trying to do out of it. So once you pretty much crop everything out, and for my camera I have that. So once that's done, we're just gonna start adding it to our part. So we will start with the front camera. So I'm just gonna zoom in, and I'm going to, yeah, maybe if I right there looks good. And I'm going to go into under my appearance. So we've added all the appearance that we want to add. So we can right click and delete the textures or appearance that are not being used. So right now Visualize has deleted all the textures that are not being used, except for this one that are still assigned somewhere. So I'm just going to right click, new decal, and I'm going to select that camera, and I'm gonna click open. So now I'm just gonna drag that camera to that face, and now I'm going to turn on my object manipulation tool and make sure I'm on scale. And I'm gonna click the decal. I'm gonna click my decal, and I am going to just keep zooming out, because that decal is scaled very big, so you just gotta keep dragging. As you can see now, you can see it getting smaller, so just keep zooming out. Keep scaling it down. So I'll scale it down some more to something like that. You can rotate it something like that, and you can scale it down some more. And you can just drag it down. This is the part. This part takes more time to work on it, so please bear with me. So I'm just gonna maybe scale it up some more, just a little bit. Good. So that looks good. Let me zoom out so you see what it looks like. So that looks really good. So now we are going to do the same thing for the back. So we have 3 more to do. So I can't use this decal, so I have to make a new one, decal new, and I am going to select that camera, and I'm going to drag it to this face. And once again, I'm gonna scale it down. I'm not sure what I did there. Scale it down. I keep scaling it down till I get what I want. Keep scaling it down. Okay, I'm gonna scale it up a little bit and move this around. And scale that up. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. I think that looks good. Yes. Maybe move this out a little bit. Something like that. Good. So the next thing we are going to do is do the speaker for this part. And you can, once you import it, I can delete this color actually, and I'll still be able to drag that speaker, the decal speaker in there. So I'm going to do new decal, select the speaker, and I'm just going to drag it to that face. And now I do the same thing, scale it down. I'll scale it down some more. I do apologize that it takes time. That's why sometimes I always try to set my decal before I do the tutorial, because it just takes time to adjust them. I'll scale it down. It's almost there. Until I get something that looks pretty good. I move it around. I'll probably have to scale it up a little bit more. Okay, that looks good. And lastly, we're going to add the flashlight. So we do new decal again. Open. Gonna drag the flashlight to that face, and we are going to, let me just move this to the left a little bit. Everything is so slow. We're gonna scale it down. And I can adjust the scale here, but I just don't know what the values are, so that's why I keep using that scale thing on this side. Maybe something right like that, and scale it up a little bit, and maybe you drag this down. bit up. Scale it down this way. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. So once you have everything done, yeah, that looks good. So now what we want to do is I'll go back into my library, because this decal, they look a little bit dull. So what you can do is in your appearance, you can just right click, make new appearance, and add them, and which is what I did here. I made a new appearance. The appearance, I made it just a white color, and it's a paint, and it has a clear coat on it. So I'm just going to add it to the decal just to give it a little bit glossy, just to make it shiny a little bit. And if I go into my appearance, you would see the decal color. I guess I'm just gonna delete this. I'm gonna delete this. The decal color, you can see, is paint, and I just gave it a 5 value clear coat, and I'm just going to drag it to that again. So when I drag the clear coat to the part, you should see the little white dot on it, which is indicating that the clear coat is already added to it. So I'm gonna, there's one more. I'm just gonna turn off my object manipulation too. So there is one more on the front that I need to add the clear coat to. So I'm just going to add the clear coat to that, and we're almost done. So now everything is looking good. So the next thing we need to do is just add some type of image to the screen. So I can actually delete this green, or you know what, I'm not gonna delete it. I'm just gonna change it to like some type of color that is maybe a gray color. Yeah, something like that. And I'm just gonna make another decal, new decal, and I'm just gonna select this. So this image is just a screenshot that I took on my iPhone, and I'm just going to drag it to that face, and once again I am going to scale it down. So I worked on this one earlier, so I think the scale for this is actually 0.0590. Well, I need to delete that. 0.0590, and it is delete 0.1053. Yeah, something like that. So I just gotta adjust it and move it. And I do apologize that I'm adjusting this in the tutorial. It takes time to adjust this stuff. It's better to do this before. Let me zoom in. Zoom in. That looks pretty good actually. Maybe I'll move this to the left a little bit. Oh no. Yes, so I'll just say once you adjust your decal, everything looks good now. So for this decal also, because this is the decal is dull, and to give the iPhone kind of like the illusion that the light is shining through, so I'm just going to drag this to the decal and show you what it is. So this is an emissive light, and I just made it the color and I gave it the brightness. If I increase this brightness, that face will you'll see that the decal will gets bright. See, like when I increase the brightness. So that's just how you give the screen an illusion that the light is shining through it. So once you have that, everything is pretty much done now. So now I can right click on my material, and show all part just to show my screen again. So now my glass is on it. So what I want to do is go into my library again, and I made the material for the glass, and I'm just going to drag it into my scene for now. And under my appearance, I'm just going to right click, copy, and I'm going to go into my glass appearance, right click, assign, and this one as well, right click, assign. And I'm just going to right click, delete all unused to. These are the colors under there which I don't really need, so I can delete them. They are the colors under the decal. So I think there's this color is showing some color at the back, which is under that decal. I don't need it, so I can just delete it. So we are pretty much done with this. So the next thing we need to do is just go into our scene, and this looks pretty good, but I'm just gonna try to look for something that's better. I think the dazzle one, oh no, this classic one works. As you can see, it looks a lot better. So that's pretty much the whole workflow for the iPhone, and from here you can do some other stuff like copy, right click, Control C, Control V, copy that, so there is two of them, and you can hold your control key and select both model, and now you can do like a diagonal. I can't pronounce that for some reason, I'm sorry. Then I'm going to maybe do 0.023 spacing, and just to have something like that, and I can zoom in, and maybe, yeah, something like that looks good. And for the one in the back, I can just flip it in the Y direction, so that way it shows something like that. Yeah, so pretty much that's pretty much the whole workflow. And once you're done, you're probably gonna keep adjusting to what works better for you or what you like. And once everything is done, the camera is pretty much the same thing. You can adjust it with your mouse click, or you can adjust it over here. And once everything is done, you just go into your renders and save the choose the file name, browse to the file location. And this, because I have glass in it, I'm probably gonna have to render maybe like 3,000 passes, and you just do start render, and I would have the result in the thumbnail once I'm done with it. So anyway, that's the workflow I used to make the iPhone 6. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment if there's any other way that I could have improved the workflow. Thanks for watching, and have a nice day. Bye.